Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Firstly, Happy New Year. It's 2021, thank Christ. So, as this video suggests, this is a full face of Hourglass makeup-ish. There are two products in here that are not Hourglass, that I don't own that's Hourglass, that I couldn't do this look without. So, first of all, the first one is the Laura Mercier setting powder. I did once own the Hourglass translucent powder, but it wasn't for me. It was a bit too glowy and I didn't like the dispenser on it. I know that's quite controversial because a lot of people absolutely love it, but that was that one. And the other one is the eye primer that I'm going to use, which is the Urban Decay one. I don't own the Hourglass one because it's £27. At the time, I didn't need one. I was using the Rimmel one, and then I got this one and I had it spare, so I'm not going to buy something I don't need. But everything else in this video is Hourglass. And the reason I wanted to do this was, it was a very last minute decision, but I suddenly realised that I have a lot of Hourglass and I could do a 99% full face. So I wanted to show you the look, the effects, how easy the products are to use, and all that kind of stuff. So if you have any questions, please put them below. As always, the next clip you see will be me looking very different in my white Stranger Things t-shirt because I don't want to get makeup all over myself, and my hair all pulled back, so you'll get to see the absolute wonders of makeup. So without further ado, here it is. So let's first go in with primer. This is the Veil Mineral Oil-Free Powder by Hourglass. It's absolutely gorgeous, and it's really, I don't know the word to use. You only need one pump for your entire face. A little goes a really long way. So I will apply it now to my finger, and it goes on white, but as soon as you start blending, it disappears into the skin. So I'll need to look this way for this. So I apply it where I need it most. So I kind of put it everywhere, but I use it mostly on my cheeks. As you can see, I have some redness. I have a few little spots there. Nothing on, like when the makeup's done, you will see that it looks absolutely fine, but it's just kind of leftover rosacea from teenage years and whatnot. I put a little bit down my neck because we always put makeup on the neck to sort of blend in. So there you go, that's completely gone. And it doesn't feel sticky on the skin. It kind of feels almost silky. I think there is some silicone in there. I'm not 100% sure, but it feels kind of silicone-y. So the next step is foundation. This is the one everybody wants to know about. And this is the Hourglass Vanish Stick Foundation. This is the shade Sand. And I actually have another one here, which is a mini that I got. And this is beige. They're both at the moment a bit too dark for me. Little disclaimer, so I'm going to just blend, but the coverage on this is insane. It comes out like it's a stick foundation if you've never seen this before. And this is quite yellow tone. I got this in May 2020, so I got it at the beginning of summer and it was perfect for that. But when I start applying, you'll see. So a lot of people have different methods with this. Some people just literally just dot it on the face and then blend. I want a slightly fuller coverage because I always go for a medium coverage. So I'm going to put 3 stripes here, one there, and a little zigzag there, and a little on the nose. Now I'm going to be using this for my foundation and concealer today because, as I said in the beginning of the video, although this is a full face of Hourglass, I don't have every single product, so I want to use this. So I'm using my Bobbi Brown full coverage brush to blend. Once you're happy that you've got it all over the face, you can then start to stipple. Now, stippling is basically just patting the brush all over the skin, and this really sets the makeup into place, and it takes out any kind of streaks that you might have, because when you use a brush, sometimes you can see the brush strokes. So stippling at the end gives you a bit more coverage, and it really evens everything out. You can use a beauty blender if you want, but with the stick foundation, I find the sponge sucks up so much product. You're left with more on the sponge than you are on your face. It's not very good for that. But obviously, however you want to do it. So, as I said, I'm going to use this as a concealer as well. So I don't know if you can see this on here, but I'm not too happy with the pigment here. I feel like throughout the day, when this starts to not break down, but as your natural oils start to come through and your makeup, you've been touching your face and stuff, it can come off a little bit. And it is very long wearing, like it's a great coverage and a great long wearing foundation, but I'm a bit of a face toucher and your hair brushes against it and stuff. So I'm just going to put a bit extra here where I would normally put my concealer. And that's it. And then I'm just going to stipple it in. I'm not going to brush it because we've got most of the product down. I'm really happy with that coverage and the way it looks. On here, it does look slightly more yellow, but as I said, this is a darker foundation at this time of year. So I will make it work with powder and less bronzer. But at the moment, I'm really happy with how that looks. So as I said in the intro, I don't have the Hourglass setting powder. I did have it, but I didn't repurchase it because I wasn't sold on it. I didn't like it for me. I found it too glowy. So I am going to be using my own Laura Mercier translucent powder, and I'm applying that with the Real Techniques powder brush. So I always get I tap it into the product and then I tap it into the lid. This is why I wear white, because I've just been covered myself in it. And then I kind of just roll the brush around there, like so. And then just apply directly to the face. With powder, you always want to pat it and not drag it. If you drag it, you'll move the foundation underneath. So just pat that into place to kind of secure it. If you've got any left in the brush, which in the lid I do, I get my MAC powder puff. You can use the Laura Mercier one. I have one, but it's too big for the powder. This fits perfectly, and MAC discontinued them a few years ago, so not happy about that. And then I just pat this in. This now will not budge. So, depends on how you do your makeup normally. At this point, I do my eyes because I like to bronze and do my brows and everything after I've put my eye makeup down. So, as I said before, I don't have the eye primer from Hourglass because I never got around to getting it. And for the price point, it's I think it's £29 for an eye primer. And you can pick up the Rimmel one for £4.99, which magnifies, which is amazing. At the moment, I'm using the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer, Original Potion. And it's just the original one. It looks like this. And I think the Hourglass one's the same, but I don't have it. So I literally just get a little bit on my finger, and then I press the fingers together to make it even. And then I apply it to the lids. I go up to where I'm going to kind of apply the eyeshadow. So just above the crease, in that crease bone. This will make the eyeshadow colours pop, and it will make them stay better, no creasing. Don't make you, but when I go outside and it's really cold and I always get my eyes start watering, I always get the creasing here and it is so irritating. So to set the potion, because it's a liquid, I always set any liquid with powder. Because I have oily skin, it will break down if I don't. So because I'm trying to use this up, this is the Hourglass Diffused Bronze Light Bronzer. As you can see, this is the pan and these are the corners that are left. So these colours are really neutral, so I just love them for setting eye primer and just for transition. That's the colour you get. It's a really cool tone bronze. I didn't really like it for my skin. The one I had as well had a lot more ambient lighting powder in it than bronzer. When you buy Hourglass, because they're baked, no one is exactly the same. So the one you try and store could have a ton more bronze in it, and then you pick it up, take it home, and yours has got more ambient lighting powder, which is, you know, a bit annoying for a bronzer. But I'm not mad at it. I used it all. Lockdown helped because I didn't need to go out much, so Project Pan was in full effect. So this brush is the Zoeva 227 Luxe Definer, but I love that I can get it really in my crease. So that's the kind of base laid down. Now I don't have any Hourglass palettes of eyeshadow, so I'm going to improvise and use my bronzers because today's a bronzy eye, and I'm going to use the Scattered Light glitter shadow in Ray. So we'll do that later. But for now, I'm trying to use as many of my Hourglass products that I can to kind of show you what they look like. So this is this year's 2020's Ambient Lighting palette, which is the Sculpture palette. So I'm going to use this bronzer. It's quite deep. For my face, it is quite dark. I love it, and I can blend it out really easily. But look, you can see that. So I'm just going to get my mirror here, and I'm going to lay that down as a base shade. And take it up to like the crease. I love using bronzers as eyeshadows. You never think to do it really, but when you use the same bronzer on your face, it really kind of ties a look together. Okay, that's quite bronzy actually. Nice. Okay. And the best tip I ever got, when you're using any eyeshadow, if the line is a bit too harsh, like here, you can see, get a fluffy brush. So I'm going to use the Real Techniques 305 Brush Crush Blush brush. And I'm going to use any of these, the ambient lighting powders. If you use any ambient lighting powder, I'm going to go Forward Diffuse like that. If you use any ambient lighting powder on a harsh line that you've done, it blends it immediately. Look, between that and that, it's actually insane. I got that tip from Chanel Temple, who is one of the beauty makeup artists from Hourglass. She's so good. So there we go. I always hate doing my eyes before my bronzer because the eyes always really stand out. So this is Ray, and this is the glitter, they're like loose glitter eyeshadows, and you can apply these in many different ways, but I like to use my finger because I feel like you get most control and most products. So this is really clever. It's like a little push thing, so it sort of push the glitter down. As you can see, this shade is well loved. It is loose glitter, but it's not gonna like tip out everywhere. If you sort of do that, it doesn't all fall out. So I'm going to get a little bit on my finger. So pretty. And I'm going to apply it directly to the lid. And just kind of pull up. So you get the sparkle, but it's not like a crazy. I'm impressed I did that without even looking. Let's try it when you look. And pull it up. Once you've got the most down and you pull it up, you kind of get a little bit of sparkle. Not a lot. You can go for more if you want to, but as it's a daytime look, I'm not leaving the house, I thought, let's not go too crazy. So when you've done that, you just press that in. And these are from last 2019's Christmas collection. They had 3 of these in a set, and these are travel sizes. This is 2 grams. When you get the full size, it's like 3.5, so you get quite a lot more. I have got a full size. I didn't take it out stupidly, so I'm not using it, but they're quite a lot bigger. Now this next bit's going to be interesting because this is the Hourglass 1.5 millimeter eyeliner in black, mechanical gel eyeliner, but I will show you. it's super skinny. So I have to do this. I'm not one of those bloggers that can like just do it with one hand without looking. I have to really concentrate. So I'm going to speed this up because it could be quite painful. But what I will do, I'll put this on because with this being so small, you can't do like, you can do a big thick eyeliner with it, but this isn't the point of this. The point of this is to really get into the lashes to make your lashes look fuller. So I apply this and then I kind of blend it out with this little brush. It is from Crown Brushes, but it's so old all the writing's come off, but it's like a little tapered, it's meant to be a lip brush I think, but so I'm going to put this on quite messily and then blend it out because I want it to be smoky. I don't want it to be a perfect line. Okay, so that's that. So now on to bronzer. So I'm going to use the Radiant Bronze Light. This is my absolute favourite. I've had this locked away throughout lockdown because I didn't want to use it up just for staying in the house. But as today's New Year's Day and I'm doing this video for you guys, I've cracked it out. And it is really, their bronzers are really pigmented. I use the, this is the Real Techniques multitask brush. I never use brushes for what they're actually intended to be, kind of whatever fits in the face. Now I always apply bronzer where the sun would naturally hit you. So tops of the forehead, I do a bit of a thing here, like not a contour, but I don't like to go too mad. So I just kind of do a little bit here, a little bit there. Because this foundation's quite dark as well, I didn't want to go too over the top with the bronzer. Looking at it like that, looking in the mirror like that's going to help me. And sort of bring it up by the eye makeup so that it kind of blends together. That'll do. I don't want to look too bronzed because it's New Year's Day and no one's going to believe that I've been on holiday anyway. So that's that. Now we're going to do brows. So these brow products are a game changer. This is the Hourglass Arch Brow Micro Sculpting Pencil. I'm using the shade Soft Brunette. So it has the pencil on one end and the spoolie on the other. So I'll use the spoolie to push up my brows because they've obviously been moved around because of the brushes and stuff. So my brows are they're a work in progress. I've been growing them out about 2 years now, and I'm a 90s teenager, so I had the stupidly thin brows, and nowadays I like more of a fuller brow. Nothing too crazy, but I think it really frames your face and makes you look a bit younger. I think for me, thin brows are just a bit harsh. So I'm going to use this tiny little pencil here. I don't know if you can see that it is kind of thin on this side and thicker there. So I'm going to turn it on its side to fill in these little hairs at the front. And what I do is I use this line of brow as a guide as to how thick I want my brows to be. So I'm going to use this mirror as well because I'm blind. So kind of creating hair-like strokes. And then once I've got the shape, I just sort of brush through so that all the brow gets the colour. And this pencil's great, it's quite waxy, so it doesn't leave like pencil lines, and you can kind of pull them through. See the difference? It's amazing. So I'm going to use a little bit on the top just to kind of pull the look together a little bit, bring it down, fill everything in, and go on to the other one. Then brush them up to brush the product through, which gives a more natural look. So now that we've got those down, I love the effect of that brow product. Like, it makes such a massive difference. So now we're going to use the Arch Brow Volumizing Fibre Gel, and this is in Warm Brunette. It's one shade darker than the pencil. With your brows, you want to keep the brow colour 1 or 2 shades lighter than your hair. If you have it the same, they just look too insane. So I'm going to use this brush. So it's a fibre gel that is deposited on this brush. So I'm going to back comb my brows with this end, the flatter end, and I'm going to use the comb to brush them up and give them that shape. So back comb. God, I need my mirror for this because I'm going to get this all over my face. So back comb the brows to get that fibre deposited. Do both. I'm only going back in with this because it's running out. Usually one dip does both brows, but because I've had this for a while, it's not as sort of wet as it used to be. So now you've got that down, your brows look mental. Use this side to push up. Very lightly. And that gives your brows that shape. Then as mine are a little bit longer here, I'm just going to push them down like so. Some people like that look when it's up, but I personally, for me, just don't. So there we go. Beautiful. So now I'm going to go in with mascara. So this is the Hourglass Unlocked Instant Extensions Mascara. This one, if you watched my faves and fails of 2020, if not, I will link it below. This was a fail for me. I have used it and I will continue to use it, but it gives kind of that extension look, but they leave like it's not fibres, but it's like a rubbery something on your lashes. The brush is beautiful, the brush is great, and I love the mascara, but it always just sort of like, because I wear lenses, it breaks down a little bit and it can go in my eyes and go behind my lenses. If you wear lenses, you'll know how painful that is. So the good thing with this is, though, it's a shame because the mascara gives such great effects, but it's just not for me. So once this one is used up, I will not get it again. But I have got the Caution one. I always use 2 mascaras. I'm very strange like that. So I've got a small Caution one, which I got from my orders when I did all those orders back in May, and you can pick like a deluxe sample, so I picked up as many of these as I could get my hands on. So I always put my first layers of mascara on, wait for them to dry, and then go in again. While that's drying, I'll apply my blusher. The blusher one was really hard for me to decide today because I have a lot of Hourglass blushes. We have so many beautiful ones, but I'm going to stick with the one that I've been using all of December because it's that time of year and you need a bit of a darker blush, and this is the Ambient Strobe blush, so it gives you a bit of the strobe powder, so it's more glowy, and this is Euphoric Fusion. It is a bit more plummy, and the strobe powder inside is quite champagne-y, so it's really good for my skin tone in winter. So I'm going to use the Hourglass Ambient Lighting brush, the dual-ended brush, and as you can see there's quite a lot of blush still on there. So you don't need much. This is really, really pigmented. So you just put a bit there, tap it off, and then I apply it to the back and a bit on the cheeks here. So I sort of smile. And there you go. Look at that. I have a kind of 80s blush look. But I also like it on the apples of my cheeks. I feel like it gives you a bit of extra pop. And then I think we're going to go full today because I want to show you as much as I can show you. So I'm going to use the strobe powder. These strobe powders, I don't do highlights, but when Hourglass does highlight, it's a different story. So this is the Ambient Lighting brush, which it fits into the palettes. This brush is especially made for the palettes, which was absolutely genius. I don't like any particular one as a favourite. I just kind of go across all of them. I mean, look at that. I mean, that is the most insane highlight you'll ever get. It literally wakes your face up. And that's why I love Hourglass, is it's like a wet look that you don't get with other makeup brands. Like with other makeup brands, they would look a bit glittery. It looks too much. Like I say, I'm in my 40s. I don't want glitter. I want lit from within, and that's what Hourglass gives. That's why it's so worth the money. So now I've done that, I'm gonna go with my Caution mascara. That's the brush for the Caution. It's a full-size brush inside the little tester. And honestly, this mascara is the best. I think when you use two mascaras, the first one you get what that's supposed to do, and the second one, because it's a different formulation, it kind of really brings them to life. I mean, look at the difference between those two eyes. It's quite mad. My eyelashes are rubbish, guys. I have like the crappiest eyelashes ever. They just go straight and don't do anything. I used to use eyelash curlers, but whenever I do, my eyelashes just come out, and I always used it before I applied mascara. But I would always pull out eyelashes with mascara ones after I'd curled them, and then I'd get it jabbed in my eye the next time I went to it, and I gave up in the end. I might revisit it at some point soon, but I doubt it. I'm perfectly happy using two mascaras and not getting jabbed in the eye with my own lashes. So that's that. So the finishing powders, I'm going to go for, again, I'm going to go back to this palette. These two are finishing powders, and the finishing powders give you that lit from within candle lit glow. Again, I'm just going to brush across them. So I'm going to use my big end brush and sort of squish it and just go across the two colours, and this will basically give you a lit from within look, bring the whole makeup look together, and just set the makeup. I usually use my ambient lighting powders after lunch. After I've had half a day of makeup use, I blot down, I put these down, and your makeup looks brand new. But as we're doing this video, I'm going to show you. Honestly, they're just so gorgeous. I hope you can get this on camera. That highlight is just so great. Isn't it gorgeous? I mean, you know, I end up looking, you saw me at the beginning, look at me now. It's a big difference. Where would we be without lipstick? The Hourglass lipsticks are amazing. This is basically the casing, and then you get the lipstick inside, obviously, but they lift off and you can replace them with different cylinders. At the moment I'm using At Dawn, which is a gorgeous nude, and it was in the 2020 Christmas collection sculpture duo. So you basically got what the casing, the lipstick, and an extra lipstick. So you got At Dawn and At Dusk. So you had a dark red and the nude, which is great. And it was £37, which is usually just the casing and the lipstick is 47. So already I had quite a good saving. So let's go in. And their lipsticks, honestly, you don't need a lip liner. It goes on really beautifully. You don't even need to block them. They dry down. They're not matte at all, but they dry down and they don't come off. I don't know what magic is in this formulation, but they still look quite glossy. It's just like a satin finish, this one. And it fits really well with my sort of natural day look today. But yeah. And then as a final step, if you want to use a setting spray, this is the one that they have brought out, which is the Veil Soft Focus Setting Spray. I bought this in May when they had their 20% off and it had just come out. I love a setting spray, and when they advertised it, it was all about the soft look and the filter focus and all that stuff. Unfortunately for me, it's a bit of a miss because I love this kind of semi-matte. I put the highlight where I want it, but this really just makes the look a bit too glowy for me. I will use it now to kind of demonstrate how to use it, show you the kind of mist. It's £47. I got it at 20% off, so it's still like 37. And you do get 120 mils. It does go a long way. Like I said, I've had this since May. It's now January. And I think it's about here. So it's like, and I don't use it every day to be fair, but the way that I have made this work for me is I spray it on my face. I either use a fan to dry it down or I use a beauty blender to pat it in. And I find that works best for me because it doesn't make my makeup last any longer, especially with mask wearing. You'll see, so you have to give it a good shake. And it's got a spray bottle, like a hairspray bottle almost. And it says to do one spray sort of down the centre of the face. Hold your breath, I always do, I don't know why. So you kind of do that, air dry. And if you can see, I got a big blob of it on my face there because it kind of just spat at me. So after that, I pat it into place. You can see how glowy that is. I don't want that level of glow. Be so careful not to ruin all the stuff you've just done. But once that's down, it looks okay, but it's not a step that I love to do because it's so expensive. I haven't really used it that much, but that's that, guys. So I'm going to go away now, do my hair, come back and kind of go through everything, show you my favourites, talk about the value and all that kind of stuff. So off we go. We're back. So this is a little overview of my favourite products and why in this whole collection. I'm really happy I did this video because I've never ever done it before. I've never done a full face of Hourglass on myself, which is really, really weird. But my favourite product ever, and I haven't got one alone one with me, but it's the ambient lighting powders. These kind of the candle lit from within powders, because they are like nothing ever before and nothing will ever match up to them ever. People have tried and failed. There are no dupes for Hourglass ambient lighting powders. If you go for a dupe, don't bother. Just save the money until you can get a proper one. If you use your own makeup and all the other high street brands, but you just finish your face with an ambient lighting powder, you will immediately look super expensive and filter like. It's insane. Second favorite is the strobe powders. when I bought these in the 20% off sale, and I opened them up and I was actually going to return them. I actually emailed Hourglass for a returns label, and once I got that, I bottled it and thought, let me just try them, because it's Hourglass. It's not going to be a glittery, heavy strobe like look. And you know what? It wasn't. I'm so happy that I got these, and you can actually put these all over your face if you want to, very light-handedly, obviously, because you've seen the power of the glow. And then finally is the blushes, the ambient lighting blushes. This is a strobe blush, but they've got the blush in there with the ambient or strobe lighting powders to kind of give you that subtle flush of colour with a bit of shimmer and sheen. If you get nothing else from Hourglass, just try a blush and a powder. You will thank me. You don't need to go the extra mile and get the brow stuff. To me, this is better than the Benefit one. The Benefit one's £22.50. This is £27. It's a £5 difference. So if you're going to spend 22, you would spend 27. That's all I'm saying. But everything in here is top level, amazing makeup. I'm so impressed with Hourglass. I've been a big fan for a lot of years. I think the first time I tried Hourglass was like 2012, and so I've been a big fan for a long time. And this collection, it has been built up over years. I've got more blushes, I've got more palettes and stuff. I want to show you the stuff that you can actually buy now. But yeah, I love Hourglass. Every Christmas when they do their palette sales, save up. It's worth it, because you get so much bang for your buck. This palette, and I will show you now, this is January 1st this year. I bet you this will last me until the end of the year, and I use this almost every single day. But I'm here now, January 1st 2021, to tell you this will probably last me the whole of this year. So we'll come back and we'll see. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Please hit the like button, subscribe if you want to, and give me your feedback. Have you tried Hourglass? What do you love? What do you not love so much? You know, let's have a conversation. Do you think it's worth the money? Are there any other videos you want to see from me? Let me know. I'm happy to do them. We're in lockdown here, tier 4, so I'm not going anywhere, so I'm more than happy to do videos of whatever. So stay tuned. Happy New Year again, 2021. I'm very excited, and I'll be back soon with another hair update video and God knows what else. Maybe even a bag video. My last bag video did really well, and I've got some more luxury bags, so I might do a what's in my bag. So I will see you in the next one. Take care, guys. I don't know. That's like that. If they don't look exactly alike, it doesn't matter. What's that old saying? Brows should be sisters. No, friends, not sisters. Sisters, not twins. Oh, I don't know. That doesn't matter if they're not exactly the same, is what I'm trying to say.